Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I am stuck in the snowpocalypse. I came in Friday night and there was like a light dusting of snow in spots. And then that night, like an 8-9 inches came down. Come that morning, I'm off at 6 in the morning, and of course, not expecting my relief to come in, and with as bad as the roads were. And I'm like, I could go home, but I probably won't be coming back. And I got another 12-hour shift starting at 6. So I made the decision to stay here, try to sleep in the car. I walked down to the Safeway, which is a quarter mile down the road. And the food options for my diet were very limited. I had protein bars that are like 300 and some odd grams and like 17 grams of fat. And if I want a hot food, I had to basically pick from their express lane area. And it was cold, so I wanted something warm. And so I basically cheated today. I didn't have a whole lot of choice on what I could eat. But I am here until sometime Sunday morning. It's Sunday morning now, but I'm talking like I'm supposed to get off at 6 in the morning, and I still don't expect there to be a relief in the morning. I know that if I tell my boss I'm going home, he's going to have to let me go home. I've been here for 37 hours. So, but I'll more than likely offer to stay until sometime midday, to let the ice melt a little bit. But I'm not totally scared about me driving in the snow. I'm scared about everyone else driving in the snow. It's a very common thing in Seattle area and in Washington that it rains all the time and people don't even know how to drive in the rain, so why would they know how to drive in the snow? So, but yeah, I'm frustrated being stuck in my car, little igloo car. But anyway, as far as my weight loss goes, I couldn't weigh myself. The last time I weighed myself was, I think, Thursday or Wednesday, and I was at 321 on Wednesday, and it's not bad. I'd probably be a little bit more excited, more for the fact that it's been such crap the last 24 hours. If you really think about it, I didn't weigh myself for the first anywhere from a week to a month when I first started my diet. I can't honestly tell you how long I waited after I started dieting to actually weigh myself. I know that it was for at least a week, if not more. And back when I did start paying attention to how much I was losing each week, I was losing like a pound a day for a while. Matter of fact, my first video was the first week that I didn't lose 5 to 7 pounds a week. So I have to assume that I am actually at the point where I've lost over 100 pounds. In my mind, I've lost 100 pounds. Now, technically, the first time I stepped on the scale, I believe I was 414 pounds. So that's the official first time on the scale to current weight. So then that's coming. But, again, I cheated today, so I had their pre-made chicken and whatnot. And I have protein bars and whatnot. Anyway, something I wanted to go over is a book. I made a video last week. I did, and I didn't post it. I tried for a couple hours to make a video that I liked, and because of the lighting and the mood I was in, nothing was coming out good. So this book that I talked about last week, I want to go over it again, because it's really got me kind of conflicted. It's called Atomic Attraction. I can't honestly tell you who the author is at the moment, even though I've read this book like twice now. I love this book and I hate this book. I love this book because for the first 2/3 of the book, it basically describes every mistake in dating that I've ever made. From the time that I was a teenager up until now. And a lot of those things I had already read about or had figured out on my own through trial and error. You know, like not to text multiple times before they get back to you. Obvious, most people know these things, but they go over all these things. And so with the stories that they tell, it's a very personal book to me for the first 2/3. And everything that they tell you to do sounds like scripture. It's everything that I've already kind of figured out or have been hearing from other books, on how to attract women or not be unattractive to women. And so you get those 2/3, and keep in mind that the presentation of this book was very science-based. There's a lot of case studies in this book, which made this book very attractive for the first 2/3, which makes it very hard when you get to that last third, and they talk about how to maintain a relationship. And truthfully, I've only had one relationship that lasted multiple years. I had a couple that lasted over a year, but only one that lasted multiple years. And so that was probably the thing I wanted to learn the most about. And the way they describe maintaining your relationship for the long term sucks. I mean, it really makes me wonder if I even want to get married anymore. Because they talk about shit tests to a level that I didn't even realize that women will take. And they say that women will still shit test you long into your marriage. And I don't want that. I also don't like the fact that they say that for a man to keep things fresh, he has to keep this line of anxiety, this line of tension, this string of tension tight. And how women react to anxiety in a very positive way, that go into the science of it. And I just don't get why any woman would find that as a positive thing, why they would react positive to it. But there's always that point that men and women think differently. But they're basically telling me that I have to occasionally be an asshole for the only purpose of keeping that tension tight and the relationship fresh. And I don't want that. I don't want to have to keep reminding myself to be an ass sometimes. I want peace. My one relationship that I had for multiple years, we did not have that kind of relationship. We were very peaceful in our relationship. And I was very happy through all of it. And I take it she was too, When we broke up, it was not because things were dull or boring. I don't want to get into that. But I don't want shit tests. I don't want to be an asshole myself and basically be giving her shit tests. A lot of what they basically are saying is to use their tactics on them, and I don't want that. But everything that I've been doing the last, 7 months, the losing the weight, the self-help books, the dating books, trying to learn how to dance. I'm now learning how to be a better cook. That's one of the new things that I've been doing lately, is learning how to be a better cook. Because my mom and dad, my brother and sister, their nickname for me was Cookie Sheet. I would get TGI Friday items or whatever, put them on a cookie sheet, put them in the oven, and that's how I cooked. Very baseline. And I want to have sexy traits. I want to have sexy skills. And cooking is one of those things that women like. So I'm doing these things to be more attractive, all because I always wanted to be married and I always wanted to be a father. And now I don't even know if I want to be married. Because when they go into the whole thing about marriage, they talk about how if you ever get a divorce, the courts will lean in favor of the woman. And most people will tell you this is true. That when it comes to kids, they favor the women. They favor the mom. When it comes to getting your fair share of stuff you own, women tend to get a little bit better deal than the man. For all the things they say about, you have these advantages for being male, it sure doesn't seem like it, because you get married and there's this big weight. It's in the book about how there's a big weight that a man will start to supplicate and grow soft to the woman in order to keep peace, because he doesn't want to lose the marriage. And so he ends up saying yes dear, that whole yes dear relationship mentality that you see all over the place, whether it's TV or in real life. I've seen it everywhere, which makes this book even harder to say this is not true. It feels true because I see it everywhere. The first 2/3 of the book, they're telling you about how you got to be the rock. You got to be their rock. You don't want to be a pushover. When they give those shit tests, they're making sure that when you're faced with adversity, that you let it roll off of you. And so they're attracted to a man who has that sturdy balance and can take that and roll with it. And then they get married, that weight happens, and then the guy goes soft to the woman, supplicates to the woman, saying, yes, dear. And then she kind of loses attraction for the man. So this book is basically saying you gotta place a bet on your relationship where you gotta be just enough of an asshole, not where she doesn't want to divorce you, but enough that she will still have that stream of attraction for you. And you can't supplicate, which I don't like to supplicate anyway. But there's both of those factors at play in a marriage. And it's like, do I really want all that? Now keep in mind, this book does feel fairly red pill, if you know what red pill is. They paint women, especially in that last part of the book, they paint them as monsters. They really do. So I want to tell myself that this book is crap. I did this big rant on Facebook about this whole thing that I'm telling you, and most of my friends are telling me, don't listen to this book, it's crap, but it's so hard to say that it's crap when the first 2/3 are so personal. I mean, I've experienced what they're talking about, and I see what they're talking about in the last third everywhere. Sorry if I sound like I'm in a bad mood. It's probably all the snow. But now some things I've been doing. I've been cooking, doing cooking classes. I got a friend who comes over to learn swing dancing and salsa dancing, and I still suck at dancing. I know basic steps. I learned those basic steps on my own, but I wanted to have dancing and cooking as my sexy skills. Something else I've been working on, I don't know if you've noticed in this video, but I'm trying to take a little bit deeper breaths when I talk. They say one of the keys to male charisma is to have a deep baritone voice, and I've already got a natural deep voice. But what happens is in America, not just me, but generally people, most places in America talk faster than they really should. They're always having these kind of shallow breaths when they talk. And I do notice that when I watch my YouTube videos, I will talk so fast that I will have to catch myself, like catch a breath. I'll go, you've seen that, right? And I will say and those filler words. See, I just did it. I do those because I will talk so fast that I will catch up with my train of thought and have to form a new sentence in that little word, you know. Just a bad habit, and I'm trying to kick myself of these habits. I don't like watching me on video saying and. So I've been literally making practice to slow my words down. They say that women like that more. They also say you're supposed to be yourself, but if I'm trying to improve myself and they say this is attractive, I want to go ahead and give it a shot. At least, if nothing else, for the videos. I'm not very good at it yet, but I am working on it. Something else I haven't mentioned too is I did do a Big Brother interview. I made the call, had my interview on Monday. Because of COVID, they said the only thing you can do right now is video chats with the kid, and they'll give you ones activities that they have made for doing video chats. And I'm like, I'm at a place at my apartment where the service isn't very well, so I'll be cutting out the whole time that I'm talking to the kid. And that's not really what I want out of this. I want to be able to actually be there for the kid, go bowling, teach him things in person. So, and she understood, the lady on the other end of the phone, she understood. She said that a lot of people, because of COVID, are now on a waiting list, waiting for when COVID dies down and we can start resuming things as normal. But I figured I would share that with you, that I did make the call, I did have the interview, and I want to be able to pass what knowledge I do have that I know is good, because of course I'm reading a lot of self-help books that are questionable, obviously, but I want to be able to pass what I do know down. I want to be a valuable big brother in that way. So anyway, yeah, that's where I'm at. 221 as far as I know. I could be less, I could be more because of the food that I've picked out while I'm stuck in my igloo. I may have to go buy more today and stay for another however many hours. I'm probably going to tell them by midday I'm leaving no matter what, if they've got somebody here or not, but because it's getting ridiculous. But anyway, I will see you next week, guys. Bye.